Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new here, hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I speak about missing children in my channel. I also have this series called Gone Too Soon, where I speak about a celebrity that passed away, and I also started a new series where I speak about adults that have gone missing. So today's video is going to be about a celebrity that have passed away, and today is going to be one that most of y'all probably know. I hope. So we're going to be speaking about Biggie Small. So let's go ahead and get started. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe, leave your name in the video and I will give you a shout out in the next video. So who is Biggie Small? Christopher Wallace, aka Big Small, the notorious B.I.G, lived a short life. He was 24 years old when he was gunned down in 1987 in Los Angeles, a murder that has never been solved. Small was from New York and had almost single-handedly revamped East Coast hip-hop, overtaken in the early 1990s by the West Coast G-Funk sound of Dr. Dre and Death Row Records. With his clear, powerful, return, effortless flow on the mic and willingness to address the vulnerability as well as the harshness of the hustle lifestyle, Small swung the spotlight back towards New York and his label home, Bad Boys Record. He styled himself as a gangster, although he was no angel. In reality, he was more of a performer than a handicapped criminal. In this regard, he was similar to Tupac Shakur, his one friend turned bitter rival, a contest that spiraled her feeling out of control, leaving neither man alive to tell the tale. And I did spoke about Tupac, so if y'all go ahead after this video, y'all could go ahead and watch it. So Christopher George Lorden Walls was born on May 21st of 1972 in Brooklyn, New York. His parents both hailed from the Caribbean island of Jamaica. His mom, Valletta, taught preschool. His pop, Sherlin, was a welder and local Jamaican politician. Swellen left the family when Biggie was 2, but Valletta worked 2 jobs in order to send her son to private school. The Roman Catholic Bishop Lower-Leaning Memorial High School, and alumni including Rudy Giuliani and former Premier CEO Arthur Ryan. But Biggie subsequently transferred to Georgia Westinghouse career in technical education high school, alumni including the rapper DMX, JC, and Busta Rhymes. Biggie had an excellent at English, but often played trauma at Westinghouse and dropped out altogether in 1989 at age 17. According to the childhood nickname Big because of his plus-size girth, he began selling drugs at 12, according to an interview he gave to the New York Times in 1994. Working the street near his mom's apartment on St. James Plaza, Valletta worked the long hours and had no inkling of her son's activities. Biggie stepped up the drug dealing after quitting school and was soon in trouble with the law. He received 5 years of probation, sentenced in 1989 after being arrested on weapons possession charges. The following year, he was arrested for violating the probation. The year after that, he was charged with dealing cocaine in North Carolina and reportedly spent 9 months in jail while waiting to make bail. And I do not want people to judge his mom. Oh, his mom worked 2 jobs. She wasn't doing her job. She wasn't taking care of him. Back then, and most likely I want to say probably today, there's parents that still work 2 jobs. So, and they're working 2 jobs to better their lives and their child's life. You know what I mean? So I don't need you to be like, well, why was the mom working 2 jobs? She was a single mom trying to get a better life for him and for her. Yes, he made mistakes, but who doesn't? Biggie began rapping as a teenager to entertain people in his neighborhood. After he got out of jail, he made a demo tapes of Biggie Small named after and gang leader from the 1975 movie Let's Do It Again. Also a nod to his childhood nickname, he had no serious plans to pursue a career in music. It was fun just hearing myself on tape over beats, he later said in the Artist Records biography. But the tape found his way to the Story magazine were so impressed that they profiling Biggie and their unsigned hype column in March of 1992. From there, Biggie was invited to record other unsigned rappers. These, according, came to the attention of Sean Puffy Combs, an A&R exclusive and producer who worked for leading leading urban label Uptown Records. He started there as an intern in 1990. Combs would arrange at a record deal for Biggie, but left the label soon after having fallen with his boss. Andre Harrell. Combs went on to set up his own imprint, Bad Boy Record, and by May 1982, Biggie had joined him. Before he had a chance to put anything out on Bad Boy, Uptown released music, the Big E record, during his brief stay at the label, including a remix of Mary J. Blige, Real Love, in August of 1992 that featured a guest verse from the notorious B.I.G. He had been forced to change his recording name after the lawsuit, though he continued to be widely known as Big E, and in June 1993, the label released the notorious Big E first single as solo artist, Patty and Bullshit. I hope YouTube does not take this down, because I'm... The same year as he worked on music for his debut album, Biggie's mom met Tupac for the first time. Their encounter, detailing in Ben Westford's book, Originally Gangster, took place at a party held by LA drug dealer. They ate, they drank, and smoked together, and Tupac, already successfully recording artist, gifted Big E, the unknown outside New York, a bottle of Hennessy. After the Tupac mentored Biggie, whatever the two met up. At one point, Biggie even asked if Tupac would become his manager. Nah, stay with Puff, Tupac apparently said. He will make you a star. Biggie was particularly concerned about money around that time because he became a father in August to Tawana, his daughter, with his high school sweetheart Jane. It had been reported that Biggie went back to drug dealing at his point until Combs learned what he was up to and made him stop. Well, Puffy, you did something nice for somebody, and if you know why I'm saying it, then you know, because I'm not going to repeat it here. The Biggie debut album came, Bad Boy, in September 1994, a month after Juicy, his first single for the label. The album, Ready to Die, was certified gold within 2 months, double platinum the following year, and eventually quarter platinum. Big Pop, the second of the album's 4 singles, was nominated for Grammy for Best Rap Solo Performance. Right to Die marked a renaissance in East Coast hip-hop, and Biggie was widely acclaimed for the narrative ability he displays on the album. Semi-autobiographically tells from his warned youth. Away from the more playful radio-friendly singles, Birthdays was the worst days, Now We Sip Champagne, When We Thirst Aid, He Chartered on Juices. Biggie did not sugarcoat the drug dealer lifestyle. The album finally tracks Suicide Thoughts, Sound Like a Cry for Help, and The Street Life, You're Not Alone, to show if you care about something. Combs told the New York Times, "You've got to keep that straight face. The flip side of that is this album. He's giving up all his vulnerability." In the run-up to Ready to Die release, Biggie married the R&B singer Faith Evans. His label met on Bad Boy on August 4th of 1994. They wed just days after meeting at a photo shoot. Faith went on to be featured on More Chances, the 4th single for Ready to Die, which reached number 2 in the Billboard Hot 100 chart and was certified platinum. She gave birth to their son Christopher, short for CJ Wallace Jr., on October 29 of 1996. I did not know that. Okay, look, I wasn't a big Tupac fan. I mean, I like one Tupac song, but that's not my point. I didn't know that. I was in the Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, B2K, Christina Aguilera. I can't keep. I was into all that. Ashanti, well, my sister was more Ashanti fan than me, but I loved her. Love her. And J-Lo. But phrased the most significant date in Biggie's roller coaster year was November 30th, 1994. This was the day Tupac was shot 5 times during a robbery in a recording studio lobby in New York. Tupac arrived but believed Biggie and his label boss Combs had orchestrated the attack. It didn't help that the B-side to the Biggie single Big Pop released a little more than 2 months after the accident, featuring the song Who Shot Ya. Okay, so I was looking at this video on YouTube. I was gonna say it at the end of the video, but I didn't want to forget. I was looking at this video on YouTube and I didn't finish it. But according to what I did see, it had nothing to do with the shoot. Had nothing to do with Big E and Puff, but Tupac. I mean, look, when something happens like that and your so two called friends are in the same building, the same time that you got shot, you're gonna think that they had something to do with it, or at least knew about it and did not warn him. But it had nothing to do with it. It was with two other men that had a problem with Tupac, and they wanted to do it on their own. They didn't even. I don't even think it had nothing to do with. Like I said, it had nothing to do with Biggie and Combs. But that's what it sucks. They never got to talk about it. Tupac interrogated that this is a big taunting him and released an exclusive diss track, Hit 'Em Up, the following year, on which he claimed to have slept with Biggie's wife. Evans wouldn't speak about this many years later in 2014 when she told MTV that Tupac once hit her on after recording session, but they ain't how I do business, she said. Biggie's next album release came on August 29th of 1995. As part of the group Junior MAFIA, he had formed the group to mentor young rappers, including Lil' Kim, with whom he would have an affair. That year, he also became one of the only hip-hop artists to collaborate with Michael Jackson. I did not know that. On the song This Time Around. The story goes that Biggie was with another of his junior prodigy, Little C's, who was then 16 when he was zoomed to the studio to record with Jackson. But according to C, Biggie would not allow him to meet the king of pop because he didn't trust him with kids. The things I freaking learn when I tell y'all these stories. The things I learn. Biggie also guest on R. Kelly upon his album on the track U2B, Be Happy. By the end of 1995, the notorious Biggie was the biggest selling solo male artist on the Billboard chart, not only in hip-hop but in pop R&B too. Biggie began working on his second studio album in September of 1995 and continued into the following year, but there would be more trouble. In March of 1996, he was arrested after chasing two autograph hunters with a baseball bat in Manhattan, threatening to kill them. He was sentenced to 100 hours of community service. Months later, police raided his house in New Jersey and found 50 grams of marijuana and 4 automatic weapons. The same summer, he was charged with beating and robbing a friend of concert promoter at a New Jersey nightclub, and then in fall, he was arrested again, this time for smoking marijuana on his car in Brooklyn. Wait, he was smoking weed. Like, I don't get why do you get... Look, life is stressful, okay? Let the man smoke weed in the car. And like he was doing crack or something. I'm just saying. I can't be a cop, because if I see you smoking weed, I'm like, hey, just make sure you don't do nothing stupid. But now, if it's another type of drug, then yeah, you're going to get arrested. But if it's just the one that comes, relaxes you, there ain't nothing to do. On September 7th of 1996, his former friend Tupac was shot dead in Las Vegas. Nobody has ever been charged for the murder. As I said, if y'all seen my Tupac video, the murder has been solved. Tupac's murder has been solved. This one, we're hoping for it to get solved. But Tupac murder is solved. Or is, but they're still probably still trying to figure out when they're going to do the whole thing. But as the consequences of outgoing East Coast, West Coast rap beef, that Biggie and Tupac revival had to come to embody. And also of Tupac publicly blaming Biggie and Puffy for non-fatal shooting in 1994. There was plenty who believed that the East Coast rap kingpins were behind Tupac's murder. Both Biggie and Puffy certainly deny their environment, and other key suspects have since emerged. It's funny thing that I can't realize how powerful Tupac and I was, reflecting Biggie to the interview Jimmy Bean after his grave rival's death. We two individual people, we wage a coastal beef. You know what I'm saying? One man against one man made a whole West Coast hate a whole East Coast, and vice versa. And that real bugged me out. Like, yo, dude, don't like me, so his whole coast don't like me. I don't like him, so my whole coast don't like him. It let me know how much strength I have. So what I am trying to do now, I've got to be the one to try to flip it, and to make my power flip it like, yo, because Pac can be the one to try to splash it because he's gone. So I gotta take the weight on both of sides. Sadly, Biggie did not live long enough to see the peace he vanished for himself. Was murdered the early hours of March 9th of 1997. It happened shortly after he left a Vibe magazine party at the Peterson Automatic Museum in Los Angeles, as Biggie USV, in which he was riding with the bodyguard in Little C's, waited at a red light and a vehicle pulled up alongside it and a gun opened fire. His bodyguard rushed Biggie to the hospital, but it was already too late. Like that of Tupac, the killing of Biggie Small would never be solved. There would be no closure. Also, like Tupac's, Big E would release a double album posthumously in Biggie case on March 4th night after his demise. And on March 25th of 1997, Bad Boy released a sprinkly titled Life After Death. It had collaborations with artists including Puff Daddy, JC, 112, Little Kim, Mass, R. Kelly, Darlie, DMC, Mac Daniels, and Angela's Winbush, and would be nominated for 3 Grammy Awards for the Best Rap Album. But solo rap performance for this lead single, Hafizizi, I don't know how to say it, and Best Performance by a duo on a group for the second single, No Money, No More Problems, with feature Puff Daddy and Mass. The album was certified diamond in 2000 after selling more than 10 million copies. With the murder seen by many hip-hop fans, a tick-for-tack killing Biggie appeared to continue the beef and Beyond the Grave of the album track Long Kiss Goodnight. The lyrics seem to refer to the time Tupac got shot and survived in New York. When my man bust, you just move with the such statement, Slunk miss you, I ain't mad at y'all. But according to the hip-hop magazine XXL, the song was likely to have been recorded before Tupac actually murdered. Whatever the case may be, Biggie's shocking fate spelled the end of the East Coast-West Coast rap feud. Things had gotten way out of hand. Two of the greatest rappers to ever pick the microphone were dead and gone. Hip-hop reputation had been dragged through the gutter. Nobody had any appetite for more. On March 18th of 1997, Biggie memorial service was held at the Frank E. Campbell Funeral Chapel in Manhattan among 350 guests, which include Little Kim, Mary J. Blige, Queen Latifah, Run, DMC, Busta Rhymes, Foxy Brown, and other high-profile artists. Biggie laid in an open monogamy casket dressed in a white suit. After the service, his remains were cremated. But this wasn't the last that the world had heard from the Biggie Small. He was featured on one fewer than 5 songs on Puff Daddy's 1997 album No Way Out. And single from the album I'll Be Missing You, dedicated to Biggie's memory, won the Grammy for the Best Rap Performance by a Duo on Group of 1998, ironically beating Biggie himself, whose More Money, More Problems was nominated the same category. There were two more posthumous albums using pre-release and related material, Born Again in 1999 and Dust, the Final Chapter in 2005, featuring a host of guests including Eminem, JC, Mary J. Blige, and bizarrely Bobby Marley. Also from Beyond the Grave in the metal band Korn. The actor, rapper, and comedian Janelle Wooden played Biggie Small in a biopic in 2009, which grossed 44 million worldwide. It sparked a word of words between Faith Evans and Little Kim, who was upset on her portrayal in the movie. But they have since reconciled, and Kim appeared on a 2017 album of duets between Evans and Small titled The King and I. At the end of the day, we're family whether we like it or not, Kim said in 2016, shortly before she and Evans went on tour. I'm part for the state, that she part of the state. We're part of Big E, and we both share a lot in common. We all realized how strong we would be together. The Carmen artist was subject of the 2017 A&E documentary Big E, The Life of Notorious B.I.G, underscoring how his influence went beyond hip-hop. He was inducted into the Rock and Hall of Fame in January of 2020. And that is the story of Big E. But look, guys, his mom, Biggie's mom, has something. Hold on. With Puff Daddy. And I am going to find out here with y'all, because I'm curious to know. What the hell? Oh. Found it. Okay. So, his mom said, quote, I want to slap the daylights out of Combs. I'm trying to figure. Okay. So, the following Rolling Stone 6-month investigation into alleged and violent abuse by Mother Valletta is telling Rolling Stone that she hopes she degrades Bad Boy Noggle apology to Cassie and his mother, and that she wants to slap the daylight out of him. It's been steady streaming of horrid allegations against Combs since his former girlfriend Cassie filed her sex trafficking lawsuit against the Bad Boy former in November, detailing numerous incidents of violent physical abuse, including a 2006 attack that was captured in hotel surveillance footage. In the wake of Venture allegations, 5 more women and 1 man have come forward to accuse Combs of sexual assault in their own lawsuit. Combs has generally denied their claims. I'm sick to my stomach, Wallace says, about the multiple allegations of violence and sexual abuse against Combs. I am praying for Cassie. I am praying for his mother. I don't want to believe the thing that I have heard, but I've seen the hotel video. I pray that he apologized to her. Oh, he did, but it was a fake apology. I hope that I see Sean one day, and the only thing I want to do is slap the daylights out of him. And you can't quote me on that, she adds, because I liked him. I didn't want to believe it all, the awful things, but I'm so ashamed and embarrassed. Rolling Stone investigation into Combs' documented pattern of alleged abuse dating back to Combs' time at Howard University in the late 1980s. Earlier Bad Boy staffs associate industry source also recall how Biggie viewed his label boss as a corny excusivit. It was on the verge of leaving Bad Boys before his murder. And in 1997, Combs capitalized on the shock and sorrow over his star artist's death, sources say, pushing his team to ensure Biggie's upcoming album, Life After Death, would top the charts, allegedly dismissing discussion to put Biggie on the cover of Rolling Stone. Kiki Boris, Bad Boy's co-founder, partner, and president, told Rolling Stone that he advocated for the tailed rapper to get the cover. I was telling Sean, let's make it Big E. You still have a chance for a cover in the future. Morris recalled, he's like, He is like, no, he's dead, and I'm putting out the album No Way Out in July, and I needed to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. Ross, who devoted her life to maintain and promoting the legacy of her son, also says Combs needs to talk to someone else in his life. He needs to apologize to his mother. She says, I hope to God he sits her down and spill his guts and apologize to her. This Combs has been keeping a low profile since Homeland Security, but this, I don't want to take the story away from what this video is about, because it is about Biggie and not about Sean, the whatever. This his death, it affected a lot of people. And the fact that two of the most amazing human beings and more, if you listen to their rap song, Tupac's and Biggie's, and you listen to the words, just listen to the words, and they're both telling you what they have gone through in life. They talk about the streets, they talk about drug dealing, they talk about how they survived, they talk so much. But now I really do think that Big E knew, allegedly, that something that, with everything that has been coming out about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever the fuck, because he's changed his name I don't know how many times a year. Allegedly, well, we all seen the video, but I'm still gonna say allegedly. But we all seen the video of Cassie. I think that Biggie knew it. He knew it, and he saw it. He didn't like the way he was being treated, because there's been videos going around of how Puff Diddy used to talk to his employees and how he would throw a trump, like a child, would act like a child and yell at everybody and blah 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 and blah blah and all this, like a damn child and losing his mind. And it hurts, because at the end of the day, a mother lost her son. A mother lost her son. A son lost his father. A wife lost her husband. Yes, Faith Evans probably would have forgave him for cheating on her with little Cam. I don't know. I don't know if she would. I mean, I don't know if she found out after he done died, or he found out, or she already knew. I don't know about that, cause like I said, I ain't know all about that. But the world lost two of the most amazing rappers that generation had. And this whole West Coast, East Coast thing, it was like, for what? For what? And I know, knowing everything that we've learned about Puff, I know he was enjoying it. He was enjoying it. He was enjoying it. I really do think, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be serious. He was enjoying this this whole thing, West Coast, East Coast thing. You put somebody in, I feel like he put his own client in danger. Like I said, a mother lost her son. A wife lost her husband. A son lost her father. His daughter lost her dad. He never got to see her graduate high school. Never got to see her go to prom. Nothing. I don't know how old his son was when he passed away. I don't know how old his daughter was. But they lost their father. And for what? For what? For nothing. And the fact that he didn't want to put him in real, like on the magazine of Rolling Stone. From what I've seen, that magazine, if you get the cover, that's it. Like, if you, for you to get that type of cover in Rolling Stone and get the cover of Rolling Stone, you have to be some type of special. And that was him. That was Big E. But Puff, instead of putting him, his so-called friend, in the cover of Rolling Stone, he wanted to get this damn album out. An album that he could have done, put out after the Rolling Stone, or waited a couple. No, you took advantage of that. You use your so-called friend Death as money. And I do have a question, but I don't know if somebody knows. Doesn't the mom supposed to get? I mean, yes, obviously you still hear his music. You still hear Biggie's music. It's still, I mean, you still hear Tupac music. You go to YouTube and find it. Tupac, Biggie's, Pandora. No, anywhere music's live streaming, you could find their songs. Doesn't that mean that it goes to his mom? Or even if it doesn't go to his mom, it goes to his kids? Because I will not be surprised to find out that this man, Mr. Puff Diddy, is not even giving his kids, Biggie's 2 kids, because mind you, he has a daughter and he has a son. And they probably, I hope that they're getting money. I really do. Because what? Puff Daddy is not a friend. Was never a friend. He was never a friend. He was a garbage. He's a garbage. He's garbage. He has daughters. But you know what? This video is not even about him. This is a video of one of the most I can't even explain him, but he was amazing. And I feel like if him and Tupac were both alive, they would have won Grammys after Grammys after Grammys after Grammys after Grammys. They probably, I don't even know if they do, I'm not sure, but they probably would have gotten a star in Hollywood, in the Hollywood, like a star in the Hollywood whatever thing. They would have been amazing still today if they were both still alive. But sometimes I think Biggie knew more, and I think him leaving and Puff knowing that he wanted to leave, something. I don't want to say, but I really do think that could probably be one of the possibility. That Puff is like, oh crap, I'm about to lose my best artist. I'm about to lose money. Because if, mind you, if Big E went to another label, Puff was going to lose everything. He was going to lose everything that he had owned being around Big E. And if that's true, that's just heartbroken. That's heartbroken, because how do you explain that to someone? How do you look at a mother in her eyes and tell her that it was my fault that your son is not here alive? How do you look at a wife? How do you look at his 2 kids and say it's my fault that your dad is not here? Because I wanted to be selfish. Because he was going to leave me for another record, and I wanted to be selfish. And if nobody could have him, if I couldn't have him as my artist, then any other record in New York wasn't going to have him. That's just my opinion. If that's what y'all think, guys, go ahead and tell me what y'all think. I will see y'all next time with a new video. Love y'all. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And also, please leave your name in the description below, and I will give you a shout out in the next video. Bye.